Welcome back guys. In this lecture we are going to discuss about the CSS. So far we have discussed about the basic tags in HTML like h1 tags, p tags, image tags, anchor tags, etc. So from now this video onwards we are going to learn HTML with the help of CSS. So let's start with the definition of CSS. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheet. The name suggests that it is a style sheet. CSS is the language we use to style an HTML document, or we can call it as HTML element. CSS describes how HTML elements should be displayed on the web page. So CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheet, and it is used to style HTML documents or HTML elements. HTML elements are the basic building blocks of the web pages, and by default they are like skeletons. They do not have any styling. So we will use CSS, means Cascading Style Sheet, to make the styles in web applications. And CSS also describes the how HTML should be displayed on the web page. That means we will add the HTML elements on the web page, but they do not have any behavior. That will be added automatically when you write text in the .html files. But when you use CSS in your web application, we can arrange the HTML elements anywhere in the web page as per our requirements. Now let's see the CSS advantages in the practical. Here you can see this is one of the web application that I have developed using the HTML but without CSS. So if you want to add CSS to the same website, you can make this website like this. Here you can see this is the same code in the both web pages. This is the without CSS and this is with CSS. So you can observe the differences between both the web applications, like with CSS and without CSS. So you can make any web page fully styled using the CSS. Thank you. Welcome back guys. In this lecture we are going to discuss about the inline styling in CSS. In the previous lecture only we have discussed there are three ways to apply styling to the HTML elements. Now we are going to discuss about the first way, which is called as inline styling. So first I will create a new HTML file in the front end folder. Inline.html. So first we will create one element in the HTML, then we will apply inline styling to that element. So let me complete the HTML formalities. HTML, then we have to write the head. In the head we have to write the title. The title is inline styling. And now I am going to move into the body part. So in the body part I will create one h1 tag. This is inline styling. So this is the text in h1 tag. Now I am going to execute this inline.html page. Let me open Google Chrome, and in the URL I'll write C:, the desktop, the folder name is frontend, and the file name is inline.html. Inline.html. You can see we got the output. This is inline styling. So now I am going to apply any one of the styling property to this h1 element. This is the h1 HTML element which is used to represent the side headings in web pages. Now I am going to add some styling to this page, or you can add styling to this single element. So now I am going to add only style to entire page, means body. I am going to add the background color to the body using inline styling. So initially the background color of this body is white. Now I want to change it to the blue color. How can we do that? Using the inline styling. So first we have to apply the style attribute to the body element. Already we have discussed about the attributes. Attributes are the properties to the HTML elements. Now I am going to write style attribute to this body element. So let me write some text like style. You can see here, this is the attribute. Every attribute is denoted by attribute name followed by the equal to operator, then it followed by the double quotes. Here we have to write the CSS styling. After writing the style attribute, we have to write the CSS styling in these double quotes. So as I said, we are going to apply the background color to this body. So here background color is the property and the color name is the value. Every CSS styling will be like this only. We have the property name and we have the value. So first I will write the property. The property is background color. Background color. Here you can see background color. BACKGROUND, background hyphen color. This is the property for applying background color using the inline styling. So after writing the property name, we have to write the value. Which color you want to add to the body background. I want to add the blue background color. So you have to write the color name. That's it. Hit Ctrl S and in the Google Chrome you have to hit the refresh button. After clicking the refresh button, you can able to see the blue background color in this web page. Here you can see the color of the web page is changed from white background color to the blue background color. We have applied these styling using inline. We have not written any separate styles like inline.css etc. We have written everything in the body element only. This is called as inline styling. We have to write the styling in that component only. We can call it as component or we can call it as element, whatever it may be. You have to write at the same place. Suppose if you want to apply background color to the h1 element, you can do that also. So here also you have to write style attribute. Style. So here I want to add the h1 background color as green. Here also we have to write the same property. Property means CSS property. Which property you are going to add? I am going to add the background color. Background color. Background hyphen color. For the h1 text, I want to add the background color as green. Here we are not focusing on CSS properties. We have one more lecture about the CSS color properties. Here we are focusing only on different types of CSS styling. We can apply using inline, we can apply using external, etc. That's why here we are concentrating only on the ways of applying CSS to the HTML elements. We'll be having separate lecture on CSS color properties. Don't worry about these properties. We are going to learn thoroughly about this. So here the h1 background color is green. Now I'm going to hit the refresh button. Here you can see the h1 background color is green. If you observe the body background color, we have blue. If you observe the h1 background color, it is green. Suppose if you want to change, you can change it using just replacing the color name. I want to change the background color to the red color from blue color. Ctrl S. Now I will hit the refresh button. Here you can see the web page background color is changed from blue to red. Suppose if you want to change the h1 background color also, you can do that. I want to change the h1 background color from green to yellow. Yellow and black are good combination. Yellow. Ctrl S. Now I'm going to hit the refresh button. Here we go. We got the red page background color and we got the yellow text background color which is applied to h1. So not only one element, you can add inline styling to any number of elements. Suppose if you want to add these inline styling to the paragraph tags, you can do that. So let me create one paragraph p tag. In this p tag, I will copy some text from Google. So I will write CSS. So copy this paragraph about the CSS and paste it in the paragraph tag. So to see entire paragraph, you have to click the toggle word wrap, Ctrl S. Let me see the output whether the paragraph is added or not. Here you can see the paragraph is added successfully. If you observe the output here, the paragraph background color is transparent. Means we can able to see the paragraph background color as red only. Suppose if you want to change the paragraph background color, you have to add inline styling to that paragraph using the style attribute. So we have to do the same thing which we have did for h1 and body. So I will write the style attribute for the paragraph, and here also we are going to add the same property, background color. And for the paragraph, I want to add the background color as brown, not brown, yellow completed, red completed. So we will add the background color as orange. Control S. Now I'm going to hit the refresh button. Here you can see we have the background color as body background color as red, H1 text background color as yellow, and the paragraph background color as orange. So like this way we can apply inline styling to the HTML elements. Once again, I want to tell this video is about learning different ways to write CSS in the HTML. This video is not for CSS properties. We have separate lectures for the CSS properties. Thank you. Welcome back, guys. In the previous lecture, we have discussed about the how to write inline styling to the HTML elements. Now, in this video, we are going to discuss about the second way of writing CSS in HTML pages, which is called as internal styling. So let me open VS Code and I'll create the new file with the name internal.css. Not CSS, HTML. Internal.html. Already we have completed the inline styling. Now we'll be moving from inline styling to the internal styling. So first I will complete the HTML formalities. HTML head. In this head we have to write the title. Title. And the title is internal styling. Control S. Now I will create the body. In the body, I will create one h1 tag with the value. This is internal styling. So let's execute this program. So here we have to just change the file name. In place of inline.html, we have to write internal.html. Here we go. We got the output. This is internal styling. Now we will learn how to add styling to the HTML elements with the help of internal styling. So to learn about internal styling, first we have to understand the disadvantages of inline styling. Then only you can able to understand the internal styling easily. First, let's understand what are the disadvantages of inline styling. So already we have discussed about the inline styling. To apply any inline styling to the HTML elements, we have to write the style attribute. So for this h1, I will write the style attribute and I will add the background color as green. Suppose if you have one more h1 text, we have to write h1 with the value. This is second h1 text. So here also I will change the text. This is first h1 text. Control S. So for this h1 text also we have to write the style attribute. Style background color. For the second h1 text I want to add the background color as red. Control S. Now I am going to hit the refresh button whether the style is applied successfully or not. Here we go. We got the output as expected. The first text background color is green and the second text background color is red. Now I am going to add the third text. H1. First I will write the text value as this is third H1 text. Control S. Now I am going to add the style attribute. Background color. For the third text, I want to add the background color as yellow. Control S. Hit refresh. Here you can see we got the third H1 text. Now I want to add the fourth H1 text. This is fourth H1 text. So for this fourth H1 text, I want to add the background color as blue. Control S. Once again, I will hit the refresh button. Here we go. We got the fourth H1 text. So if you observe the H1 texts here, for every H1, we are adding the style attribute. So it will take some time to add styling for all the H1 text. So to avoid this situation, we have to use internal styling. with the help of internal styling, we can able to add styling to all the H1 texts in this web page by writing only one line. So now I will show you how to apply inline internal styling. So let me remove all these style attributes. Here also I will remove style. Control S. I'm going to hit the refresh. Here you can see there is no background color for any H1 text. Now I want to add red color background color to all the H1 texts. In inline styling, suppose if you want to add red color background color to all the H1 text, you have to write style attribute to every H1 text. So now I'm going to show how to avoid that situation. So in the head part, we have to write the style. After writing the title, you have to write the style. Here you can see, this is the way to write style. Style is also similar to normal HTML. Here also we have the same syntax, less than symbol followed by the tag name. The tag name is style followed by the greater than symbol. If you want to close this tag, you have to write a less than symbol followed by the slash followed by the tag name. You have to write the greater than symbol. So in between these style tags, we have to add styling to the elements. Suppose if you want to add styling to the H1 elements, we have to write H1. After writing the tag name, you have to write the curly braces. Here you can see, first we have to open the style attributes by writing the style tags. After writing the style tags, you have to write the tag name for which tag you want to apply styling. I want to apply background color to the all H1 texts that are available in this web page. So we have to write H1. So after writing the tag name, we have to write the curly braces to write the properties. The properties I am going to write is background color. Already we have discussed background color property in the previous lecture. So here also I am going to apply the background color to the H1 texts. So I will write background color. Here you can see background hyphen color. Now I am going to add the red background color to all the H1 texts. Value is red. This is the property name and this is the value. Property name is background color. Property value, the background color value is red. So if you execute this program, all the H1 text background color will be changed to red color. Let me refresh the page. Here we go, we got the output. All the H1 text background color is changed to red color by writing only one line. H1, the property name is background color. If you want to apply inline styling, you have to write style attribute to all the H1 text. So with the help of internal styling, we can avoid that situation. You can apply styling to all the H1 elements with the help of only one line. So this is the advantage of internal styling over inline styling. You need not to write style attribute to every HTML tag. You have to write the tag name and you have to apply the styling to that tag. So the styling will be applied to all the elements which are having that tags. So to understand this better, I want to create the different paragraph tags. So we have completed the H1 tag. Now we are moving into the paragraph tags. So I will write the paragraph tag as this is first paragraph. Now I will create the one more paragraph tag. This is second paragraph tag. I will create the third paragraph tag. This is third paragraph tag. Here I want to apply the blue background color to these paragraph tags. All the paragraph tags, not first paragraph, not second paragraph. For all the paragraphs, I want to apply the blue background color. First, we will check the output whether the paragraph tags are created successfully or not. Here you can see we got the paragraph tags. This is first paragraph, this is second paragraph, and this is third paragraph. So if you observe the H1 text, they are already applied by the background color property. Now the paragraph's background color is transparent. That means the body background color will be applied to the paragraphs. The body background color is white. So automatically the white background color will be applied to the paragraphs. Now I am going to apply blue background color to these paragraph tags. So here instead of writing H1, I will write the P. P indicates paragraph. So here also we have to apply the same syntax. For the H1 we have applied H1 followed by the curly braces. In these curly braces we have to write the CSS property name and that property value. Here also we have to apply the same property because we are going to apply the background color. That's why I will write background color. So already I have said we are going to apply the blue background color. Blue. That's it. For the H1 text, the background color is red. For the paragraph text, the background color is blue. Not one H1, not one paragraph. For all the H1 text and for all the paragraphs, these conditions will be applied. These stylings will be applied. Now I am going to hit the refresh button. Here we go. We got the output. This is first paragraph, this is second paragraph, this is third paragraph. For all the paragraph text, we have only one background color, that is blue color. And we have applied this by writing only one statement, which is called as internal styling. So now you can understand the advantages of internal styling over inline styling. It saves a lot of time while developing the large websites with the help of internal styling. Suppose if you want to change the property value also, you have to change it here only. So for the H1 text, I want to change the background color from red to yellow. And for the P paragraph text, I want to change the background color from blue to orange. Orange. Control S. Now I'm going to hit the refresh button. After hitting the refresh button, the H1 text background color should change to the yellow color and the paragraph text background color should change to the what color? Orange color. Now I'm going to hit the refresh button. Here we go. We got the output. For the H1 text, the background color is changed from blue color to the yellow color. And for the paragraph text, the background color is changed to the orange color. So if you want to add the background color or if you want to change the background color also, you can do it by writing only one statement in internal styling. So this is the main purpose of writing internal styling in HTML web pages. Thank you. Welcome back, guys. In the previous lecture, we have discussed about the internal styling in CSS. Now in this video, we are going to discuss about external styling. So internal styling and external styling are both similar except one thing. In the internal styling, we have to write the styling for the HTML elements in the same page. Means whatever the web page you are developing, in that page only you have to write the style for HTML elements. Whereas in external styling, we have to create a separate file for CSS. That means for one web page, we have to create two files. First one is HTML file and second one is CSS file. HTML file is for developing the HTML elements and for CSS is for applying styles to that HTML elements. So now I am going to create a new folder in our front-end project folder because as I said, whenever you want to make external styling, you have to create two files for single project. So we cannot create two files here. That's why we have to make separate project folder to learn about the external styling. So first I will click on the new folder. Our folder name is, I will write folder name is just project. So this is our folder name. Now in this project folder, I am going to create the first file which is for HTML. So I am going to write the file name as project.html. In this file, we are going to develop the components, means HTML elements like H1 element, P element, image element, etc. And as I said, we have to create the separate file for CSS because we are going to apply styling to the HTML elements with the help of external styling. External means outside the HTML file. So in this project folder, I am going to create the new file which is called as project.css. So this is the CSS file for project.html. As of now, we have not linked this project.css to the project.html. Afterwards, I will show you how to link this project.css to the project.html. So first of all, let me create some data in the project.html. So first I will close this project.css. Now we have to complete some formalities in this project.html. Then we have to write head. In this head, I will write the title as external styling. After completing the head part, I'll move into the body part. Body. So in this body, you can create any element. You can create h1p anchor tag, any element. So for the better understanding, we have to use only h1 element because we are going to apply the background color property. That's why I will create h1 element. In this h1 element, I will write the text as this is first h1. Control S. Our program is completed. As of now, we have not written any CSS code. First, we have to execute this project.html to check the output. So I will open VS Code, not VS Code, Google Chrome. So this is our previous file link. Copy this link and paste it in another tab. We have to just make changes in the last link. So in the front end folder, our project name is project only. And our file name is index.html. We have to execute only HTML files. We cannot execute CSS file in the browser. We can only execute .html extension files only. That's why we have to write project.html. Press enter. Here we go. We got the output. This is first h1. Or we can write the text as this is first h1 tag. Control S. Let me refresh the page. Here we go, we got the output. This is first h1. Now I am going to add the background color to this h1 text using the external styling. So far we have completed the internal styling and inline styling. Suppose if you want to add background color with the help of inline styling, we have to use style attribute. Suppose if you want to add background color with the help of internal styling, you have to write the style in the head part. You can see here we have to write the style like this. So we can write style, and in this style we have to write the tag name. Here the tag name is h1, and we have to write the property background color. I want to apply the color as red. This is internal styling. Suppose if I execute this program, here we go, we got the red background color. But this is not what we want. We want to apply the styling to this h1 element with the help of external page. Here the external page name is project.css. That's why we have to write this styling in the project.css. So first of all, I will remove this style part. Control S. And in this project.css, we have to write the styling for the elements which are present in project.html. In the project.html, we have only one element in the body, which is called as h1 element. So for this h1 element, I am going to add the background color property in the project.css. So here we need not to mention the style tags, because whenever the file extension is CSS, that means the compiler will understood that this page is for only adding the styling. We cannot create any components or HTML elements in this page. This project.css is only for applying styling. That's why we need not to mention the style tags. We just need to write the tag name for which tag you want to apply styling. So here we have only one h1 tag. That's why we want to apply styling to the h1 tag. I will write h1. So as I said, how to apply styling with the help of properties, we have to write the tag name followed by the curly braces. In that curly braces, we have to write the property name and property value. So as of now, we have used only one property because we have not started the CSS properties. We are learning only how to write CSS in the HTML pages. From the next video onwards, we are going to learn about the CSS properties. So here we have learned only one property, that is called background color. I am applying background color. Background color. So there should be hyphen between the background and the color. So here we have to apply the property value. The property value I am going to apply is red. Control S. Let me check the output whether the red color background is added to the h1 text or not. Here you can see there is no background color because we have created the project.css, we have created the project.html, but there is no link to this project.html and project.css. That's why the background color is not applied to the HTML h1 tag. So we have to tell the compiler that please use the project.css styling for the project.html web page. We have to write one statement to understand the compiler. So in the head part, we have to write the statement which is called as link. So we have to write link. You can see here this is the syntax of link, less than symbol followed by the link keyword. Here we have to write rel, that means style sheet. CSS stands for cascading style sheet. We have to tell the compiler that we are linking the external style sheet. In the href, we have to write the style sheet name, means the file in which you have written the CSS. I have written the CSS for this project.html in project.css. So that's why in the href, I will write project.css. That's it. These statements state that we are using the styles which are present in project.css in the project.html. So we have to tell the compiler that I am using the external style sheet for the elements which are present in the project.html. The external style sheet name is project.css. We have to write the project.css in the href attribute. Whatever the values that are present in the tags that are called as attributes. In the link tag, we have two attributes, rel and href. Rel means we have to tell the compiler that which type of file that you are linking. I am linking the style sheet file. Style sheet means CSS file. And in the href, we have to mention the file path. That's it. Now I am going to refresh the page. Here we go. We got the output. We got the red background color to the HTML h1 tag. So this is the way to apply external styling in CSS. So we'll see one more example. I will create one more h1 text. This is second h1 tag. So automatically the red background color will be applied to the second h1 tag also, because we have applied red background color to all the h1 texts which are present in the project.html. Now I'm going to refresh the page. Here we go. We got the second h1 tag with the background color as red. Suppose I want to create the P paragraph. This is first paragraph. So for the paragraph, I am going to add the background color as green. So here we have to write just P followed by the curly braces. In these curly braces, you have to write the CSS properties. The only one property we have to write is background color. There are many properties in CSS, but as of now, we have to write only one property. Background color is green. For the h1 text, the background color is red. For the P means paragraph text, the background color is green. Now I'm going to refresh the page. Here we go. We got the paragraph text with the green background color. Suppose if you create the one more paragraph text also, the green background color will be applied automatically. We need not to do anything because we have applied background color to the P with the green for all the paragraph texts. I'm going to create the second paragraph tag. This is second paragraph. Control S. Now I'm going to refresh the page. Here we go. We got the second paragraph text with the green background color. So like this way, we have to apply the external styling to the HTML elements. So if you understand the internal styling and external styling, you will get one doubt. That is, here you can see in the body, we have two h1 texts and two paragraph texts. Suppose if you want to add the red background color to the first h1 text and green background color to the second h1 text. How can we do that? So if you apply the background color to the h1 as red, all the h1 text background color will be red. So here we are doing that with the help of internal styling or external styling. But this is not what we want. I want the first background color h1 text will be red, and for the second h1 text, I want background color to the green. How can we do that? In the next video, we are going to discuss about that. Thank you. Welcome back, guys. So far, we have completed all the ways that we can write CSS styling to the HTML elements. The first way is inline styling, and the second way is internal styling, and the third way is external styling. So, if you understand the internal styling and external styling, you can understand some disadvantages are present in the internal and external styling. Let's understand the disadvantages of internal and external styling. So let me open our previous project. Here you can see this is the project.html. In the body we have 4 tags. 2 tags are h1 tags and 2 tags are p tags. So here I want the red background color to the first h1 tag, and green background color to the second h1 tag. So with the help of external or internal styling, we cannot do that, because if you apply background color to the h1, that color will be applied to all the h1 text that are present in the project.html. So let's execute this program. Control S, refresh. Here you can see this is the output. For the first h1 text, the background color is red. For the second h1 text also, the background color is red. So this is not what we want. I want first h1 text background color should be red, and second h1 text background color should be blue. So to solve this problem, we have to use the CSS selectors. So with the help of CSS selectors, we can solve this problem. So now I will create a new folder for our CSS selectors project. I am going to create the new folder. Folder name is selectors. So in the selectors folder, I am going to create our first HTML file with the name. So you can name it anything. I want to name this as index.html. And I am going to create the CSS file index.css. So let me close this project.html. Now we are in the selector. Selectors is our project name. Index.html is our web page. Index.css is our cascading styling sheet, or we can simply call it as style sheet. Now I am going to complete the HTML formalities in the index.html file. HTML head, the title is CSS selectors. And now I will move into the body part. In the body, let me create only one h1 text. This is about CSS selectors. Control S. So now I will execute this program. This is our previous project output. Here the project name is selector, and we have to write the file name as index.html. In the front end folder, the project name is selectors / the file name is index.html. Here we go. We got the output. We have only one h1 text in the index.html. That text is, this is about CSS selectors. So let's assume this is our lecture title. This is about CSS selectors. For the testing purpose, I will create 3 h1 tags. h1, this is first h1 tag, and for the second h1, this is second h1 tag. I want to create the third h1. This is third h1 tag. Control S. I'll hit the refresh button. Here we go. We got the output. This is first h1 tag. This is second h1 tag. This is third h1 tag. Now I want red background color to the first h1, blue background color to the second h1, and green background color to the third h1. So you can write this styling with the help of inline styling directly, because here you can write direct style attribute and we can write background color. But here we are not discussing about the inline styling. We are going to discuss about CSS selectors with the help of external or internal styling. So first we will discuss about the external, then we will discuss about the internal. So external means we have to create the separate style sheet. Already I have created the separate style sheet with the name index.css. So first I will apply one background color to the h1 text. So sorry. Here I will apply the background color for the h1. Background color is red. So after adding the CSS code, we have to link this CSS file to the index.html with the help of link tag. We have to write this code in the head part. First of all, I will press enter here. In the head part only, we have to write the title and we have to write the link statement. Link. The link syntax is link tag with the attributes, two attributes, rel and href. Rel means we have to tell the compiler that this is a style sheet, because CSS is a style sheet. In the href, we have to write the file name. The file name is index.css. Index.css. Control S. Now I'm going to execute the program. Here we go. For all the H1 text, the red background color is applied. Now I want to apply red background color to only first H1 text. So here comes the CSS selectors. There are two types of selectors in CSS. The first one is ID and the second one is class. First we will discuss about the class. So here class is denoted by the dot operator. First we have to write the class attribute to the respective tag. Here I want to apply the styling to the H1 tag. That's why we have to apply class attribute to the H1 tag for which you want to apply the styling. So for the first H1 tag, I want to apply the styling. After writing the H1, you have to write class. And here we have to write the class name. You can write any one name. Here I am writing the class name as X. This is the class name. You can write anything. For understanding, I have written just X. So for this class name, you have to write styling in the index.css. So you may got one doubt. You can, if you write direct X curly braces, if you write background color red. Let me remove this H1. Control S. If I execute this program, here you can see there is no background color because we should not write the direct X. We have to write one operator. For adding styling with the help of class names, we have to use the dot operator. So before the X, we have to use dot operator, means full stop. So before X, we have to use dot. That means dot X means class X. So for all the elements which are having class X, for that elements the background color will be changed to red. Now I am going to execute the program. If you see the index.html, there is only one class for H1 with the class name as X. For the remaining H1 text, there is no class attribute. We have class attribute for only one H1 text. Now I am going to execute the program. Here you can see. For only first H1 text, the red background color is applied because I have used the CSS selector, which is called as class. You can see here for the first H1 text, I have used the class name as X. And in the index.css, I have applied styling to only .x, means class X. So now I am going to create the class for second H1 text. Class Y. For the second H1 text, I have applied the class as Y. So here also I have to write dot Y. That means class Y. Here also I am going to apply the background color property. Background color, as I said, for the second H1 text, I want blue background color. Blue. Now I am going to execute the program. Here we go. For the second H1 text, I got blue background color as expected. For the first H1 text, we have red. And for the second H1 text, we have blue color. Now we are left with only one H1 text, that is third H1 text. For the third H1 text, I want to apply the green background color. So before writing here, we have to apply the class attribute to the third H1 text. Class Z. For third H1 text, we have class as Z. Dot Z. So here I will apply the background color as green. Background color as green. So for the class X, we have red background color. For the class Y, we have blue background color. For class Z, we have green background color. So now I am going to refresh the page. Here we go. We got all the outputs as expected. For the first H1, red. For the second H1, blue. For the third H1, we have the green background color. So if you see this page, we have one more H1 text with our lecture title. This is about CSS selectors. If you observe these tags, there is no background color for this H1 tag because we have not added any class attribute to this H1 tag. That's why the background color is just white. So if you create one more H1 tag with the help of these any class names, the background color will be applied automatically with the respective background color with the help of class names. So I want to create the fourth H1 tag with the class name X only. For the class name X, we have the background color as red. So the fourth H1 text will be added with the red background color. Now I am going to create the fourth H1 text. H1. This is fourth h1 text. So automatically the background color will be added as red because we are going to add the class X attribute to this h1. So now I am going to add class X. For the first h1 and for the fourth h1 we have the class X. So for the class X we have added the red background color. Now I am going to hit the refresh. Here we go, we got the red background color. If you see, we have not applied any styling to this h1 element. We just have written class X as this attribute. So for the class X, automatically we have applied the background color as red. That's why for the fourth h1 text, the red background color is applied. Now I am going to create the fifth h1 text, and for that h1 text I am going to apply the class Y. h1 class Y. For the class Y, the background color is blue, I think so. Here you can see for the second h1 text, the background color is blue. So for the class Y also, the background color will be blue. Now I am going to create the fifth h1 text. This is fifth h1 text. Control S. Hit refresh. Here we go, we got the output. This is fifth h1 text with the background color as blue. Because for the fifth h1 text, we have given the class name as Y. If you see the index.css, for all the tags which are having the class names as Y, the background color will be blue. Now, I am going to create one paragraph tag. So, this styling will be applied to the paragraph also. Classes are applied to all the HTML tags. It is not permitted up to only h1, only h2, etc. You can add class attributes to any HTML element. Now I am going to create one paragraph tag P. This is my first paragraph. Paragraph. Control S. Here we go. We got the output at the bottom. This is my first paragraph. Here there is no background color for this paragraph because we have not added any styling and we have not added any class attribute to this paragraph. Now I am going to add the class attribute with any one name. Here we have three classes X, Y, Z. So from these three we can add any one class name to this paragraph. Class. So already we have repeated the X 2 times, Y 2 times. Now I am going to add the class Z to this P. So if you see the index.css, for all the elements with the class name as Z, there is a background color green. So the green background color will be applied to the paragraph. I will hit the refresh. Here we go. We got the green background color to the paragraph. So we can say that CSS selectors are independent from HTML elements. If you write styling to the class name, it will be applied to all the HTML elements which are having that class names. So far we have applied the CSS selectors in the external styling. Means we have created the separate style sheet for the index.html, and we can apply these CSS selectors to the internal styling also. That means if you want to write the internal styling without these index.css also, we can apply the CSS selectors. In the next video we are going to discuss about that. Thank you. Welcome back guys. In the previous lecture we have discussed the CSS selectors. We have discussed only one selector which is called as class, and now in this video we are going to discuss about how to apply the CSS selectors with the help of internal styling. So in the previous lecture we have created this separate style sheet which is called as index.css, but in this lecture I am going to write the internal styling to the web page, and we can see how to apply the CSS selectors to the internal styling. So let me create a new project. I will write the project as int selectors, means internal styling selectors, int selectors. The folder name is int selectors. Here I am going to create the file name with the value as index.html. File name is index.html. So here I am going to complete the HTML formalities first. After writing the HTML, we have to write the head. In the head, I will write the title. The title is, we can simply write selectors only. So first I will create one h1 tag in the body. h1. This is first h1. So as we learning in CSS selectors, that means we have to create more than one, because we are going to add different background colors to the different H1 texts. This is second H1 text. I will remove this text. You can simply write it. This is second H1. So we have completed the class. That means class attribute. That's why I'm writing the class. For the first H1 text, I am going to write the class name as X. For the second H1 text, I am going to write the class name as Y. So for this class X and class Y, I am going to apply the internal styling. As we already completed internal styling concept, so to apply the internal styling to the any web page, we have to write the style tags in the head. We have to write the style tags here. So it's very small topic. It's everything similar to external styling, but we have to write the style in the head part without creating the separate style sheet. So here everything is same. You have to access these H1 element with the help of class name. To access any HTML element with the help of class names, you have to use the dot operator. So here we have to write first dot. After writing the dot, we have to write the class name. So dot followed by the class name. Class name is X. So in these curly braces, we have to write the CSS properties. It's very simple. I am going to apply the background color. Background color as red. For the first H1 text, I want to apply the background color as red. And for the second H1 text, I have the class name as Y. So that's why I have to write dot Y. Dot Y, background color is. So every time we are using only three colors, red, green, blue. This time we will use one more color, yellow. So for the first H1, we have the red, and for the second H1, we have the yellow. Here we need not to write any link statement because we are writing the internal styling. We have to write the link statement whenever you are writing external. That means we have to write separate style sheet. So here we are only writing the internal styling. For internal styling, we need not to write any link statements. We just need to write the style attributes in the head part. In that style attributes, we have to write the access names. That means we are accessing the HTML elements with the help of class names. For the class names, we have to access with the help of dot operator. Dot followed by the class name. Dot followed by the class name. Here the class name is X. That's why I have written X. For the second text, the class name is Y. That's why I have written dot Y. Now I am going to execute the program. So where is our tag? So first of all, we have to execute this. Let me copy this previous link. Here I will copy this, and for this lecture we have the project name as, let me check it, I forgot, int-selectors. int-selectors. Slash, the file name is index.html. Index.html. Here we go. We got the output. For the first H1 text, we have the red background color as expected. And for the second H1 text, we have the yellow background color. We have applied these CSS selectors styling with the help of internal styling only. We have not created any separate style sheet, and we have not written any style attribute in the respective HTML tags. We just added the class attribute to the tags, and with the help of class attributes, we have added the styling to the H1 elements. So these styling will be applied to the paragraph tags also. If you want to apply, it's up to you. Suppose if you want to create one paragraph tag, this is my paragraph. For this paragraph also, suppose if you want to apply the red background color, already we have the red background color for class X. So you just need to write the class X for this paragraph. Class X. Now I will refresh the page. Here we go. We got the output. This is my paragraph. So if you change paragraph, that means if you change background color to the class X, so the both H1 text background color and P text background color will be changed. Suppose I want to change the background color to the orange. Instead of red, I want to write orange. So the first H1 background color and the paragraph text background color will be changed from red to orange, because here I am changing the background color of class X. That means the elements which are having the class X, that element's background color will be affected, means changed. Now I am going to hit the refresh button. After hitting the refresh button, you can able to see the output with the background color as orange for the first H1 text as well as paragraph. Now I will hit the refresh. Here we go. For the first H1 text and for the paragraph text, the background color is changed successfully. So like this way, we can use the selectors with the help of internal styling. Now we have completed the only first selector, that means class. We have left with one more selector which is called as ID. There are two types of selectors in HTML or CSS. The first one is class and the second one is ID. And we have completed this selectors topic with already internal and external styling. So in the next video, I am going to discuss about the second selector which is called as ID. Thank you. Welcome back guys. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about the CSS selectors, and we have completed first CSS selector which is called as class, and now in this video we are going to discuss about ID. ID is also one of the CSS selectors in which you can apply the styling to the HTML tags. So first I will create a new folder in the front end, or you can apply the internal styling also. To apply the internal styling, we don't need separate folder because we are going to write the style in the same HTML page. So let's create only one file because I want to apply only internal styling. So the file name is ID selector.html, because we are going to use the ID selector in this page. Let me complete the HTML formalities. HTML head, the title is same, CSS selectors. Control S. Body. So here I am going to create one H1 text. This is first H1 text. So first I will execute this program. I will copy the previous project link and I will paste it here. So in the front end folder, the file name is ID selectors. So there is something mistake in our link, ID selector. There is no S in our file name, that's why it is showing the error. Once again so I forgot to add the .html. Here we go, we got the output. This is first H1 text. So already we have completed the class attributes. With the help of class attributes, you can apply the styling to the HTML elements. ID attribute is also similar to the class attributes, but there is only one difference. Class attribute is applied to many number of elements, but ID attribute is unique. We have to apply one ID to one element only. You cannot repeat the ID to the multiple elements. Suppose for the first H1, I am going to write the ID as X. So you should not use X anywhere after applying to the first H1. But when it comes to the class names, you can repeat the class names. But when it comes to ID, you should not repeat the ID names. This is the only difference between class and ID selectors. So to apply the styling to this ID, we have to use hash operator instead of dot operator. For classes, we have to use the dot operator. For IDs, we have to use the hash operator. So first I will open the style tags in the head part. Style. So to access any H1 element, HTML element using the ID, we have to use the hash operator followed by the ID name. Here the ID name is X. Similarly, you have to write the curly braces. In these curly braces, you can add the properties. The property is background color. Background color is, I want to write orange red. Control S. Now I am going to execute this program. Here we go. We got the orange red background color to the first H1 text. We have applied styling to this H1 text with the help of ID. You can see here, I have just given the ID attribute to the HTML H1 tag. So I have applied styling to only ID attribute. For the hash X only, this styling will be applied. Suppose if you write one more H1 text, the styling will not be applied. The default styling will be applied to the H1. This is second H1. Let's run this program. Here you can see there is no background color to the second H1 because we have not added any style attribute or CSS selectors to this h1, the plain background color will be applied. So if you want to add one more background color to this h1, you have to create a separate ID y. So here I am going to write hash y. That means ID y. Background color is blue. I want to apply the blue background color to the second h1 text. Control S. I will hit the refresh. Here you can see the blue background color is applied to the second h1 text. So here we are applying the styling using the ID attribute. Remember it. In the previous lectures we have applied styling using the class attributes. In this lecture we are applying the styling using the ID attributes. The only difference between the class attribute and ID attribute is, for class attributes we can repeat the class names. When it comes to the ID, you should not repeat any names. Already we have completed the X. So here you should not use X. You should use only separate ID name. So that means ID is unique. Class is repeated. This is the only difference. For accessing, we have the dot operator for classes and hash operator for IDs. But when you are making any large applications, in majority scenarios, we'll be using only class names. That means class selectors. We have to use only ID in specialized situations. In the previous lecture, not previous lectures, in the upcoming lectures, I will tell when to use class names and when to use ID names. Thank you.